Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm not here with Geeky Sparkles in this video, so we're going to talk about video game news, and she only sort of kind of cares about video game news, but we're going to have a lot less gaming journos. Turns out that IGN just bought a whole bunch of video game sites, and they're probably going to snap them, if I had to guess. So we're in the end game now. This is end stage video game journalism, and I am really surprised that Kotaku wasn't one of these sites. I don't think they're in this, but they bought the Gamer Network. Again, given the state of where digital journalism is right now, especially video game journalism, all these websites are dying. There's no more ad revenue. Google has effectively made most websites redundant because they're using AI search snippets now. And they're pulling information from websites, but they're not actually sending traffic to websites. So a lot of advertisers aren't even bothering advertising on websites because they're like, what's the point? Why am I spending money on a website that nobody's going to visit? We'll just spend it directly with Google or whatever they're doing, right? So this isn't a surprise, but people are still surprised. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, go out to Clownfish Gaming. We do cover gaming news out there in video form, do live streams over there occasionally. And check out Shadowbinders Volume 1, 2, and 3. We're doing a reprint drive on Indiegogo. I know I said we weren't going to use Indiegogo, but that was like a year ago. They held our money longer than I thought they were going to. A lot longer than I thought they were going to. But people I've talked to lately said that they've kind of gotten their act together. So I'll give it another shot. But if you missed out on the end of last year, we did the initial drive for Shadowbinders Volume 3, and we ran out of Shadowbinders 1 and 2, and a lot of people want those comics. So we're going to have to do our second reprinting of these books. Again, this is our webcomic series turned graphic novel series. If you like Final Fantasy video games, you'll probably like Shadowbinders. We also have the previously on Clownfish TV in very limited quantities left, and pins and all kinds of fun stuff. So let's get right into this. This is coming from GamesIndustry.biz. IGN Entertainment acquires Eurogamer, GI, which is Game Informer, I think. Video Games 24/7, Rock, Paper, Shotgun, and more. New owner makes redundancies across the Gamer Network portfolio. Wow. Okay. IGN has acquired the Gamer Network family of digital brands for an undisclosed sum, probably not very much. As a result of the acquisition, some redundancies have been made across the UK-based organization. We're not hearing who yet. Gamer Network's publications are GamesIndustry.biz, which is, oh, hey, they're writing their own obituary, aren't they? That's where the story's coming from. Eurogamer, including all 6 local language editions, Rock, Paper, Shotgun, which has been tossed around all over the place, Video Games 24/7 and Dicebreaker, which is a tabletop site. The business also holds shares in Outside Xbox, Digital Foundry and Hookshot, which operates Nintendolife, PushSquare, PureXbox and Time Extension. Damn. IGN is the division of Ziff Davis that includes IGN, Map Genie, How Long to Beat, and Humble Bundle. I didn't know that they owned. I did not know that. I did not know that they owned Humble Bundle. It's acquired the websites from PAX and New York Comic-Con organizer Reed Pop, which initially bought the Gamer Network business in 2018. So they didn't have them very long, 5 or 6 years. Not included are the UK-based events, EGX or MCN, or the digital brand Popverse, which will remain with Reed Pop. So yeah, Reed Pop knows, and this is a company that deals in events. They know that there's no future in video game websites. That's interesting. So going out to Twitter, here's the latest on it. Janet Garcia says, every wave of games media layoffs is terrible for those directly impacted, but also means there are people at their job unhappy, underpaid, overworked, who are even more scared to leave now, who tells themselves, I'm lucky to even have a job, as that job treats them like shit. Look, pop culture journalism has never been a dream job. A lot of people that take these jobs use the platform. They're interested in the job because they're hoping to get into video games themselves, or hoping to get into comic books or animation using the platform. And that has worked out to some degree, but it's all drying up now. And look at how Kotaku has been behaving lately. Like, Kotaku is prime for a sale at this point. Like, Geo Media, I think, is trying to get rid of them, and I have to wonder if they're not going to approach IGN and be like, do you want Kotaku too? You're buying all these websites. I think Gamers Group is another one that's going to implode. But think about, like, just that one company, how many damn video game websites are there? Seriously, like I get that gaming's big, but how many video game news websites do you really need? When the only ones that get a lot of traction are like the IGNs and the Polygons or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's going to YouTube and they're going to podcasts, and now they're going to Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. That's where they're going to get their video game news. And they're getting it from people that don't have a lot of the political bias that these journos have. Legacy Killa HD says IGN just got rid of 5+ competitors. Kind of crazy how so many gaming sites are now under 1 or 2 parent companies. I guess it shows how the landscape has drastically changed. Apparently, you guys have not been paying attention. We've been calling this for like two or 3 years now. That it's going to be Highlander. Like all these sites, and a lot of these websites, and the same thing happened with comic book sites too. A lot of them started out as individual fan sites, and they got to a certain size. And then when the mad money was flowing, when all this venture capital was flowing, like 10 years ago, all these websites sold out. And some of these guys were getting, 7-figure deals, possibly more for their websites. Yeah, it's like you grew comic book resources to this size. Here's a couple $1 million for comic book resources or whatever. I mean, freaking Reese Witherspoon sold her blog for like almost $1 billion or some craziness. Now, she had a production company that goes with that, but I'm like, there's no way in hell it's worth that much. But yeah, they were paying ridiculous sums of money for these websites. J Rock says games journalists have been silent about IGN buying out their outlets and laying their coworkers off. Don't y'all speak up at once. Ryan T. Brown, IGN Entertainment has acquired Gamer Network. Layoffs are expected. Yeah, absolutely. IGN Entertainment acquires competitors Eurogamer, Rock, Paper, Shotgun. Is this coming from IGN? Like they're writing their own obituaries. Niche Gamer, they're not saying who got laid off yet. They're not saying who got laid off yet. They might not be allowed to until people, tell the public who got laid off. And there's, the time differential, I think, in some of the UK sites you have to deal with too. But yeah, there's so few independent sites left. Most major sites are now under the same roof. It's Highlander, guys. What are you going to do about it? IGN just bought a bunch of sites that do the exact same thing that it does. I fear many of those sites will get closed down. Absolutely. Absolutely. This person, James Batchelor, says absolutely devastated that it has involved layoffs, including Brendan Sinclair, the best damn journalist I've ever worked with. Well, I think we're going to have more people coming out and talking about it. Yeah, so here it is, guys. We are in end stage video game journalism. Kotaku's day is coming. That's the end boss. Kotaku's the end boss. When Kotaku and Polygon finally get gone, we know that the era of video game journalism is officially over. Nick Calandra says, I cannot think of a good reason for IGN to buy all those gamer network sites other than to fold them into IGN to try to boost their SEO, which is getting more precarious with AI every day. Yes. Reed Pop executives probably just made out like bandits here. No, I don't think so. I think they probably sold them dirt cheap. I think they sold while they could sell. A lot of these companies are selling cheaper than they normally would because they know there's no future. This is why GeoMedia is having a fire sale. AI search has destroyed blogs. There's no reason, if you're a for-profit company and you're not just a fan, there's no reason to invest anything more in these websites. There's no future for them. Right? And a lot of these sites, they've tried to pivot to video and they don't have the personalities for it and they haven't done very well. IGN's one of the few examples, but IGN's kind of a bigger thing, and even IGN, I'm sure they're taking a hit. That's probably why they're buying. They're hoping to divert everybody over to IGN. They'll probably just have these sites kind of like Gizmodo did. They'll have them as a tab on the bigger IGN site. Harper J says, watching the size of the ocean shrink for the industry is very sobering. We had a brief splash maybe 5 years ago where anything felt possible. Now it's all become one thing. That doesn't bode very well for both writers and readers. No, you have to build your own audience, Harper. You're going to have to build your own audience on X or YouTube or do podcasts or something like that. The problem a lot of these gaming journals had, and I think the reason that we had a lot of undeserved arrogance, is they moved into a warm seat. Somebody else built the site. They got a job at the site. They acted as if they built the site themselves. And a lot of them got into gaming after the hardcore gamers who were the audience of that website, after they did, and they wanted to lecture them. A lot of these people got into gaming journalism to use it as a stepstone to get into quote unquote real journalism, or to use it as a platform for activism, because most sane people, I'm going to be honest, most sane people wouldn't do this for a living because it is a lot of work and it doesn't pay very much. So there has to be another perk, and that perk is I have a platform. And it's something I like to do, playing and talking about video games. In some cases, there are also a lot of people that got into these websites that obviously don't like video games, they don't like gamers, and they don't know what the hell they're talking about when it comes to video games. So it's all ending, guys. This is what is this? This is a story from IGN. Success can't save your favorite game studio anymore. No, look, something can be profitable and not profitable enough. And when you're making these hard decisions, as an owner of these websites, and this is actually a very easy one. It's like, what's the future look like for these websites 6 months from now, a year from now? Oh, nobody's going to be going to them and all the ad revenue's gone? Yeah, well, we burn them down. We sell them off. Who wants them? And that's basically it. It's not a hard decision to make. It's hard for the people who are affected, but yeah. This is it. This is end stage video game journalism, guys. There it is. I'm going to keep watching this story. This is a pretty big story. Very big story. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.